So there is an NBA Game 5 to talk about here on Monday. We will get into that shortly. Get a little exotic with today's best bet, if I do say so myself. But let's talk about Major League Baseball first. Mark Zinno leading us off, talking about a team he knows very well, the Atlanta Braves. And you, sir, believe that they will be able to cross the plate a good number of times against Reese Olson and the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, I'll actually give you a little bit of credit here, BP, when it comes to the Braves. You had told me on Friday last week, you felt like the Braves going into the weekend were going to be a play-on team, that they were going to snap out of it, that the Rays were a good get-right series for them. Well, offensively, that was 100% correct. They scored 22 runs over the course of the 3 games, even though they lost the final one. But nonetheless, they take 2 out of 3, and their bats look like they're starting to come around. So this is kind of like a really pivotal spot here to make sure that this wasn't an aberration. Now, the Braves are facing a very tough starter in Reese Olson. He's a guy that, has been very good, but the numbers this year aren't that great. The 1-8, the 3.68 ERA, and the 1.28 WHIP. Strikeouts are a little bit down. If the Braves, who are heavy favorites today, are probably a 2-1 favorite, if not higher in certain shops, if they are going to start to get right, they have the perfect opponent after this series against the Rays to continue to start to build some momentum to try and catch the Phillies. So I think we go over 4.5 runs here with Atlanta. I think they continue to hit the ball well, and Reese Olson, who struggled, should continue to struggle here. Braves are much better at home than they are on the road. Let's see if we can get over 4.5 runs here. We'll play on the Braves and continue to hit the ball and play well.
If you're jumping on board, Braves over team total with Zinno, smash that like button. You can also smash that like button if you agree with what I'm about to give you. And you talk about a team that needs a get-right series, Zinno. How about the Miami Marlins, okay? The Fighting Joe Ranieris, if you will. This is a team that's 2-11 in the month of June. And guess what? I am jumping on them today, but with the caveat of +1.5. I'll take the Marlins on the run line. Look, for me, like it always is, this is about price. I don't think St. Louis should be this big of a road favorite. The fact that we're able to get the +1.5 at a pretty affordable price, you only have to lay -130 as of right now, is not a bad deal. Look, St. Louis is below 500 on the road, where they average only 3.6 runs per game. Sonny Gray's having a good year, but look at what's happened the last 3 times he started away from home. Against the Phillies, he gives up 4 runs in 5 innings. Against the Angels, he gives up 5 runs in 6 innings. Against the Brew Crew, Milwaukee, he gives up 6 runs in 5 innings. So Miami, I think, is going to have a chance to score here. I know you have very strong feelings about Braxton Garrett. I know he wronged you in the past. However, he's a lefty. He's a lefty. Okay, it's my left hand here. St. Louis, guess what they are against lefties? WRC plus 29th. There are only 30 baseball teams in Major League Baseball, of course. So we're going to take Miami plus the 1.5 to go along with Zinno's Braves team total over 4.5 as today's double play. Let us know down in the comments section below. Yes, Mark Zinno.
It is Paul Skeens Day. It's always worth mentioning when it's Paul Skeens Day. And a very hefty price on the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, we're at the point now when he pitches that you're paying such a premium, it's almost unbettable. And I still don't trust this Pittsburgh lineup, to be honest with you.
No. And, if you've got a bet on the Pirates and the Reds today, let us know down in the comments section. Well, I kind of like the under in that game there. Skeen's first 5 starts all had gone over, but I kind of like the under in this one. We are now going to talk NBA. Like I said at the open, there is a game 5. We did not know if there would be any more NBA to talk about, Mark, when we last met on Friday on the show. Can't believe there was no games over the weekend, but alas, it's finally here. You were very upset when I talked to you this morning. You were listening to the national media saying they were relying on lazy narratives in breaking down this NBA final. So please set the world straight, Mark. And our best bet, it's a player prop on Jason Tatum. Talk about some stuff for the game, and then we'll talk about Tatum specifically for our best bet.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just think some of the narratives surrounding some of the players in this series get to be a little bit frustrating. I'm not sure why the world doesn't like Jason Tatum. He's a really great player, and I'm not sure why we continue to have this negative viewpoint. Like, if I was going to make a kind of side bet on the game tonight, I think Jason Tatum's going to have a big night. Should indicate where we're going with our best bet here in a moment. But if Jason Tatum goes out and drops 40 tonight and they clinch, why is he not the MVP? Like, I know Jaylen Brown is a heavy favorite to win this thing, but has Jaylen Brown really shown that much brighter than Jason Tatum in this series? Like the idea that Tatum has had a bad series, I think is laughable. I don't think he's had a bad series at all. He's been a lot more defensive, and that stuff kind of gets overlooked. I think Tatum absolutely can win the MVP with a huge performance tonight. So I don't like the narrative around him. I don't really like the narrative around Luka. They're only here because of him. They're not here without him. So we can continue to say X, Y, and Z about Luka, but still, he's the engine that makes this whole thing run. I will add this about the total. We talked about this in game 4. We thought we hit the bottom of the market. We have a game 5. We're down even lower. We're in 8 full points lower than the opening game 1 total of 217.5. That's noteworthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge drop between two teams over the span of 4 games. So do with that what you will. I think we've seen scoring anomalies in each of the 4 games, including 2 blowouts. The Celtics having their second worst 3-point shooting effort of the entire season in game 2, and the Celtics going 8.5 minutes of the fourth quarter in game 3. I think 3 of these 4 games easily could have went over. There should have been a lot more scoring. So if you think we're at the bottom of the market here, it might be worth an investment to look towards that. But there's a lot of different reasons why this thing wouldn't go over once again. I mean, Boston's defense certainly capable enough to keeping the Mavericks below 100 one more time.
And you mentioned Tatum. The show best bet, over. Jason Tatum, 7.5 points in the first quarter. I said we were getting a little exotic, and I wasn't lying. Look, something we also need to note here, Mark, Porzingis likely not to play, okay? And when that's the case, Tatum generally plays the entire first quarter. He averages 11.2 first quarter points in games where Porzingis doesn't play. 11.2. The total here is only 7.5. I'm surprised the books haven't adjusted this because people are onto this. He's gone over 7.5 in 14 of 17 games this season without Porzingis in the lineup. And again, he's generally out there the whole first quarter, so you don't have to worry about him being on the bench and missing some time. He's scored 13 and 11 in the first quarter, the 2 games in this series without Porzingis. I agree with what you said. I think Tatum. Look, Boston, they just kind of gave up. It was a bad start in game 4, and they just rolled over and said, hey, we can clinch this thing at home in game 5. You're not going to get a bad start like that from the Celtics here. And if the Celtics do start strong, who's going to be the driving engine? It's going to be Jason Tatum. So Jason Tatum over 7.5 first quarter points is your show best bet. Let us know what you think of that down in the comment section below. Smash that like button if you agree. And of course, if you already haven't done so, subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That way you don't miss any of our exclusive sports betting content that we're dropping each and every day. Mark and I do the morning wager every Monday through Friday, dropping free plays, NBA and MLB. All right, new special offer. By the way, how was your Father's Day, Mark?
It was fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
You know what? I took the kids to brunch, and she wasn't there. Took the kids to brunch, and basically left me alone for the rest of the day, which is exactly what I wanted. Like I'm at the stage of Father's Day where it's like, just leave me alone. Just allow me to be unmolested for a couple of hours.
My God. My daughter, you know what she got me for Father's Day? Was a 7-day Mark Zinno pass for $77.
Oh.
There, so what a gift. It was but now that deal is over, but we have a new special offer for you here on to talk about here on the show Monday, and that is you can get up to 15 days free. Earlier you buy, the more free days you receive. So if you buy we will get you, if you buy a 30-day pass, okay, get all of July, you get the rest of June free. Normally, a 30-day all-sport, all-access package is $299. That's less than $10 per day for all the winners. But with this special offer, when you buy July, you get the rest of June free, like I said, up to 45 days of service from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for as little as $664 per day. That's if you buy today, you get 15 days free with the purchase of a 30-day all-access pass. If you buy tomorrow, you'll get 14 days free with a 30-day all-access pass. This offer includes every play in every sport from your favorite handicapper, Mark Zinno, myself. You'll receive your selections as soon as they're loaded. That's the benefit of being an all-access subscriber as well. For Monday, obviously, I'm going to have a play on the NBA Game 5. I'll have some MLB as well. Euro Cup, my next play is up as well. So ready to go, locked and loaded, Mark. Tell them what you got up on your page.
I have 2 plays in Game 5 tonight. We'll add an MLB play here shortly, but I have 2 plays in Game 5 tonight. So sort of correlated, but, also partly maybe a little bit of a mini hedge. Nonetheless, go over to WT.buzz/MZ. Get both of those, including the baseball play, over at my page right now at WagerTalk.com.
All right, that does it. Another edition of the Morning Wager in the books. He's Mark Zinno. I'm Bryan Power. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Maybe there's going to be another NBA game to talk about. Maybe there won't, but there will definitely be Major League Baseball, and we'll have you covered. Until then, let's cash some tickets.